Hey you guys, welcome to your bi-weekly love reading. This is for Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising for the remainder of January 2021. So I want to thank all of you for all your love and support. Please keep in mind these are general, so they may or may not resonate, but hopefully you get some clarity from here. Also, if you guys are wanting to book a personal or private reading, be sure to check the description box for ways to reach me. If you want to reach me by phone, make sure you're registered at bill per call. You can request a call back, and if I don't get back to you that day, I'll get back to you within a 7-day time frame. Also, if you have not checked out Patreon, the Venus sign readings are there now, as well as other additional bonus content that you may enjoy. So, also we are using Super Lunaris Tarot today, so those of you that wanted to know. Alright, so central issue, heart of the matter, we have the King of Cups, we have the Hierophant, the Hermit, we have the Six of Wands, Page of Swords, the Moon, Five of Pentacles, and the Two of Pentacles. All right. So I feel like you guys have been doing some research, or you have been learning a lot about yourself. I feel like maybe you are in a place where you're wanting someone who you can connect to spiritually and just overall have some sort of in-depth connection to. Otherwise, you may be okay remaining a hermit, you know. I feel like, yeah, you've been doing a lot of researching, whether reading or watching videos, learning about occult, learning about astrology. Also, you could just be in school and focused on that too. I feel like your faith is being tested. Like, sometimes you feel confident and sometimes you don't believe, or there's a loss of faith. Now, I see you getting a lot of attention and a lot of support. What I think may be happening is, especially more so if you're single, or even if you are not, I feel like outsiders are giving you a lot of attention if you're single, but not the person that you're with. But what you really want it from them, but they're not giving it to you. Or if you're single, you're getting attention from a lot of people, and maybe even people that you're attracted to, but I still feel like maybe it's all coming from the person except the one that you want it to come from. So I feel like that's what really matters. And it also looks like no matter how much someone lifts your spirits, you still somehow start to overthink things and suffer from anxiety, depression. It's like, I feel like you are still not finding the answers, and that's why you've also just been keeping to yourself a lot, because you haven't found inner peace and you haven't gotten the clarity that you're wanting. Something looks too like maybe you're in an unhappy relationship, but you can't decide if you want to stay in it or leave, or you keep leaving and then coming back, maybe feeling bad or feeling sorry or guilty because you want to help. But also, I feel like you can't help people who don't want to be helped. That might be something that you're doing. You are also being asked to confront your fears or confront, your shadow. It's like, even if you try to avoid love, like, you are still going to have to deal with these emotions and one way or another. You know, if you don't get to deal with it through romantic relationships, then maybe it might come through a coworker or a family member. But I feel like you can't, the best way for these fears to get resolved is to just confront them. And then you'll see that something wasn't as big of a deal. I also feel like something's going on where somebody has not had your back, or someone has your back one minute and then they disappear. You may be dealing with someone that has mood swings, or you yourself may be having mood swings, dealing with a lot of forgetfulness. Sometimes you are feeling lost, it seems. Like you don't know where to turn. Or feeling misunderstood, misrepresented. Misrepresented. So I don't know if someone is only telling one side of the story and making you look bad about something. Something may be one-sided. It's like you all don't know the full story. You don't know everything that I went through either. So someone also could be judging you before they know the full story. And it could be, especially if you're in a relationship, maybe the other person's family, if you're going through some sort of breakup or something. I feel like astrologically, you are being affected by the moon a lot. I see some disappointment being revealed once the next full moon comes out. Next full moon should be in about 2.5 weeks. So yeah, probably as we enter Aquarius season. Yeah, I feel like something's going on where maybe you are feeling rejected or misrepresented, left out. Now, also, whoever you are dealing with, I feel like this person is helping you work through your abandonment issues. Even if you're like, no, they're the one that caused my abandonment issues. Exactly. Same thing. They're helping you realize that you do have abandonment issues and you need to understand something about why you're attracting people like that, or why you feel people abandon you, which again goes back to astrology. I feel like astrology is just very healing. I can never stop preaching to learn about the basics. I personally just know like the basics. Like I learned enough to understand things in my chart. I could read charts, but I would not charge because I'm not a professional with reading charts. But when I learned and I was reading my charts, so many things just made sense. It just, when it's written, it's just like, why the freak am I arguing about it? It's like right here. So it's kind of like if you want to be like, God, I need receipts, and God is like, here are your receipts. It's like, okay, I can't even go there with you. So yeah, I just feel like astrology is very therapeutic. But there are other forms of healing. Just find something that works for you. But I do feel like instead of avoiding these feelings of rejection, you've got to face them. Even if you're single, like something's going on where maybe you just, one minute you're so confident and you're fine, and then the next minute you just be like feeling so lonely. Yeah, you might be feeling like you exert all of your energy into other people, but get nothing in return, or especially more so to the person of your interest. Because I see you getting attention and support. I just feel like it's not from the one that you want it from. You also are maybe having to learn how to walk away, how to cut your losses. Stop holding on to something that is rotten to the core, or an unwillingness to change. There also could be some sort of family issues going on, like being an outcast or the black sheep of the family for your lifestyle or your love interests. You also might discover that traditional relationships aren't for you. Maybe you're giving up on trying to have a traditional relationship. I got the name either Ramon or Ramon for somebody. Yep. See, you keep doing something over and over again. I feel like you don't learn. You just keep doing. And you know what? Like I said in another video, if you are aware that someone is just, being greedy, and you feel like it's your obligation to help or save someone, then own it. Don't argue about it. Just be like, well, this is my mission. This is what I came to do. Let me just do it. Let me embrace it. That's why, don't get me wrong, like, even as I personally do feel like a wounded healer, and I get it, sometimes you'd be like, I'm so sick of being a healer. But, I joke to myself, if I do meet someone new, I usually joke and be like, oh, class is in session. Because it's like, it's not going to be easy. Not to be a Debbie Downer, it's just more so like, let me just work with the cards that I was dealt with and hope for the best. And that's kind of how I do it, instead of just avoiding or throwing away relationships altogether. I mean, you do have your moments where it's like, yeah, you do need isolation. You do need time to heal. You do need breaks. But then when you're ready to get out there again, you can't be running for the hills. And you also have to be realistic too, especially knowing, things that are written in your birth chart. I don't know what your views are on manifestation, or if you can alter your birth chart. All that depends on your personal beliefs. But yeah, I just kind of feel like something's going on where it's just you keep getting caught up with the same situations. I think what it is too is that you forget that you have a higher calling. And it's like you keep wanting to be regular, or wanting to have like that regular lifestyle. And it's like, healers don't usually get that regular lifestyle. Not usually. I don't want to sound, like a Debbie Downer, because I feel like also everyone's, birth chart and life path are individual. Is very separate. It depends. But, the life of a healer is a difficult one. You're always going to get sent people that need your help, that need to be loved. Like, and I keep giving personal references just to let you guys know that I understand. I relate. But I know that I'm a nurturer. And I do like to nurture people, so I do overlook a lot of flaws, because I'm like, I'm a nurturer. That's what I'm here for. But then when you do it, you forget that you said you were a nurturer. And so you just like all want to get out of it. And you're like, no, I don't want to do this anymore. What about me? You have your moments. So, and then too, I think part of that lesson, like I said, is learning when to cut off your supply. Like, maybe that lesson has run its course. You learned what you had to learn. They learned what they had to learn. Time to let it go or move on. I feel like too, you might get a lot of activity, nightly activity, whether through dreams or real paranormal stuff. happening. Yeah, see, sometimes, I can see you getting frustrated. Now, if there's someone that you're dealing with, it seems like you guys just don't see eye to eye, or someone always thinks the grass is greener on the other side. So I feel like for some of you, unfortunately, maybe you feel like you're never appreciated. Another personal example is like, I know my worth, but unfortunately, I feel like I always attract people that don't know my worth because of something in my chart. It's just like, well, and then maybe that's because the connection needs to just remain temporary because it is a learning lesson. But yeah, it's like I know my worth, but I also am aware of the fact that people I attract don't know my worth. Now, also the question could be, and this is if you're going through something similar, are you okay with that? And are you okay with constantly having to remind someone, how to act or what's acceptable and what's unacceptable? Or do you just kind of say, nah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and end this. It was nice. It's up to you. It really is. So, and look at you trying to be like a hero, trying to take on so much. And I kind of feel like that is what you're doing. You feel like you can take on the world. I feel like you even try to hold on to people when they're upset with you. You might show, distance yourself, but I feel like that's not what you really want to do. You just distance yourself because they're distancing themselves. Now, it looks like you're also dealing with a lot of heavy burdens. Also, at the same time, you may be holding on or fantasizing about this ideal life, maybe with an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, but could also be another water sign or someone with strong water placements. I do feel like you will find someone to share happiness with, especially if you've been dreaming about it. I feel like one day it's going to happen for you. And so I feel like you may be going through a hard time right now, but, just keep pushing. Like, sometimes when it gets the hardest is, that's the darkest moments. And that's also a sign that something's coming to an end. So, yeah, I see something also maybe being able to be salvaged or fixed, as long as both parties are putting in the effort. Yeah. So if you were in a relationship just recently, it is possible that you guys get back together and then separate. There are things that you guys need to work on. And then, like I was saying with the whole lesson thing, some people are, you are meant to go through some sort of long-term cycle with. It's just ongoing. But it really depends on, I feel like, when you feel fulfilled, then you can let it go. Yeah, I feel like that's something that this is like an apology, or your faith is restored. And it's kind of like that rainbow where I just kind of feel like God is saying, see, I told you, I promised you this. I hold true to my promise. Even though I personally believe that God resides within all of us, then this is your own personal prayer being answered by yourself. So I feel like for the most part, you just need to continue to work on those dreams. I feel like something is building you, like building up your character or making you stronger in a sense, becoming more resilient, knowing how to deal with issues better in the future. Also, I feel like it's a possibility that some of you may end up connecting with someone who is at work. So like a coworker, or you also may end up connecting with someone through family. So I'm going to go ahead and stop there, but hopefully that has resonated, feel free to leave your comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Sending you love and grace.